family owns a small vacation house in Colorado. It's old, the kind of place your dad keeps promising to tear down and rebuild someday. He loves to ski, so we keep going back every winter. The property is huge, an open clearing surrounded by woods, a dead-end road that slopes past few cabins, and the quiet that comes with being off the beaten path. Most of the time, the neighbors aren't there. When I was a kid, that made it perfect. This happened about 15 years ago. I was 8, my brother Josh was 11. We were there during a heavy blizzard, the kind where snow fills the air like fog and everything gets muffled. Of course, the two of us went outside. We had this game. We'd each build a fort and make a giant snowball we called the Joel. The goal was to steal the other person's Joel and bring him back to your base. That day, Josh picked the neighbor's property for his base. He ran down the road to set it up. I stayed behind, waiting for him to blow the whistle so the game would start. At first, I thought he was just taking his time. 5 minutes passed, then 10 minutes passed. The wind was loud. I couldn't tell if the whistle would carry that far. So I decided not to go through the trees. It looked dark and scary with the snow, so I took the road. The snow was deep and unplowed. My boots sank with each step. My cheeks were red inside my scarf, but I had on so many layers I wasn't cold. As I got closer to the neighbor's driveway, I cut through the trees to sneak a look. From between the bare branches, I could see their yard. Then a voice called from the house. "Excuse me, are you looking for your brother?" It was a woman at the front door. I called back. We're playing a game." And she said, "Your brother isn't here." That confused me. I could see the fort. There were tracks in the snow. I walked toward the steps up close. The woman looked older than I thought. She had a smile that didn't feel right. Slow, like she was choosing how to say hello. As I moved closer, I noticed someone at an upstairs window. For a moment, I thought it was Josh. The person had a beanie pulled low, and half their face was hidden by the window frame. I saw footprints leading to the front door. At first, I assumed they were Josh's. But then, I noticed something else. The footprints doubled back in places, like whoever walked that path had turned and gone back toward the woods. It didn't line up. The woman waved me and said, "Come in and warm up." And then my stomach went cold. I yelled, "Josh! Josh!" But there was no answer. The woman's smile slipped. She didn't seem to expect me to call out. Then I heard heavy steps from inside the house. Slow, thudding, sounds coming from upstairs, like someone walking down the stairs. I didn't wait. I turned and ran. I slammed through my own tracks and ran up the road toward our house. Halfway up, I heard Dad whistling, the same whistle he used to call us home. I started running harder. When I reached our porch, Dad and Josh were already there. They'd been on their way to get me. My heart was pounding so loud, I could barely speak. Before I could explain, Josh started talking at once. People at the neighbor's house had told them to come in. Said they were standing at the door, telling him to come warm up. My story matched his almost exactly. Dad grabbed something. I think it was a heavy flashlight, and went down to check while Mom waited with us. He was gone longer than I wanted him to be. When he came back, he looked tired. He said the front door was locked and no one answered when he knocked. The back door, however, had been left unlocked. And the police later told us they had gone through the house and found nothing. The detail about the back door being unlocked didn't let me relax. It felt like a message that someone had been there and left quickly. Neighbors called the owners and found out the house was supposed to be empty that weekend. That's the part that chilled me. Nobody should have been there. The police took statements from Josh and me, checked the property, went through rooms, opened closets. They didn't find anybody. They didn't find answers. After that, my parents packed up their valuables and brought them home. They were worried about a break-in. We stopped going over to that neighbor's property. Even years later, whenever my dad told the story, he'd get quiet at the part about the face at the window and the woman is smiling at me at the door. I still see the smile sometimes when I close my eyes. I never found out who that woman was Or who was looking down from the upstairs window? Maybe, just maybe, someone had been in the house earlier and left. Maybe it was kids messing around, or maybe it was someone who liked to watch. Actually, I don't know. The only thing I know for sure is this: me and Josh both walked away from the place at the same time, running toward home, and we still don't have satisfying explanation. So yeah, we were kids playing in the snow, and for a moment, something happened that didn't belong. That memory stuck with me because it changed the safe shape of that place. The woods felt different after that day. A simple smile at our front door became one of the most unsettling things I've ever seen. And thank God we never went inside that house.